Hey everybody, how's it going? What the hell, right? Yeah, boy. So in this video right here, we're gonna go over the Nutra game, how to play Nutra with Peach and Daisy in a safe manner. All right, I've been getting a lot of questions and concerns on how to play Nutra, Peach and Daisy. So this video right here, hopefully it'll help you guys out. All right, now this is something that I've been thinking about and worked on for like the past day or two to step up my Nutra game and be a little bit hard to hit. All right, so enough wasting time. Let's just get right into putting this video. Alright, yeah, boy. So, in playing Nutra game, basically, both you and your opponent, you're trying to juke each other out, trying to base stuff, so that way it's not Nutra no more. It's not a Nutra game no more. It's an advantage, disadvantage game. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you're at the advantage. So yeah, so let's start with the moves that you're gonna be using Nutra. Okay? So, when it comes to Nutra, oh, real quick before the moves, obviously you want to be moving around a lot when it comes to Nutra. You want to be hard to hit, so that way the opponent cannot just either force an easy block on you. The moment you block, it's not Nutra no more. Now, it's advantage disadvantage game with you being at the disadvantage. So yeah, but in certain cases with blocking, if the opponent's tossing out attack, you can go in, block the attack if you got to turn up your hand, and then boom, punish, whatever. Alright, but anyway, we're gonna ahead of ourselves here. One move that you'll be using in Nutra that's really good is the fair. Now this move right here, I see a lot of Peach players and Daisy players just tossing out, like, you guys toss this move out like 1,000 frames per freaking second, like this is real shit. So yeah, let's go over the good things about the fair. One, the fair has range. And this is a move that you probably use to check your opponent from a distance. So if the opponent wants to try to jump at you, be like, yo, bruh, I got this crown, man. I'll swing. Like, watch out, man. I'll swing at you. You got to check your opponent. But if they try to come in at you, you swing with that crown, you just hit them. All right? So check your opponent from a distance is a good way to stop people from running in at you, especially if you do ground floated. You got to turn up your hand, ground float. And then once you swing, like, if I swing at this distance against DK and then he tries to run at me, yeah, what's up? Yeah, watch yourself, check him. You gotta check your opponents that time, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that's good. And also the move hurts, right? It's gonna be one of your main kill moves. Now, downside to this move is that it's slow. Okay, it's slow. And a lot of ways that Peach and Daisy players use it is they like to do this and then come down swinging. Now that's a bait. Alright, that's a bait. So you're basically telling your opponent, without even realizing shit, that, yo, if you come at me, I want you to come at me. So that way I can get a free hit. Alright? I can get a free effortless hit. I want you to come at me, try to hit me, so I can just get a hit. Now, if you believe that the opponent has to take that bait, you bugging. They don't have to go for this, all right? If you do this, they don't have to go for that. And what goes up must come down. See that? So, what the opponent can actually do is two things. One, if they practice it, right, and it's really not that hard, they can parry. They just gotta wait to see you fall, and then time a parry, and then just punish you. But it might be online, and that could be a bit tricky at times. So the safest route is, as you're coming down, the opponent can roll behind you and then just punish you. There's a lot of characters that they could just do that. They have fast dash attack, they have range, they have projectile, whatever. They can just punish you, alright? They don't have to sit there or try to hit you and then, you just get a free effortless hit, right? They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that, okay? So, there's that. So that's a bad thing that I see a lot of Peach and Daisy players do. This little gimmick here. No, your opponent doesn't have to go for that. Don't got challenge. And also, you put yourself in the line of fire, especially to do the option that I just explained. You put yourself in the line of fire, all right? So, yeah, just be careful with that. Now that we got that out the way, let's talk about how to effectively use this move. As I said before, do this to check your opponent, all right? At a certain distance, your opponent tries to jump at you, you check him. And then once you get a hit, then you go in, you take control, boom, you got the advantage. So, this is good, alright? Now, let's say you toss out a fair, and you end up, like, right here. What do you do next? Well, there's a few things you can do. One, you can toss out a forward tilt. So the opponent tries to either grab you or jump out of shield, do something, come at you. Let's forward tilt, okay? Another thing you can do, if you think your opponent's gonna like either roll or something, it's a bear, okay? You can do bear. So you got this to this, and if they block that, you know, you space it, you can move out the way. You probably go for a bear, nair, you know, whatever, okay? Either way, even if you don't get the hit, you're still safe, okay? Because you try to do something to get a hit on your opponent, gain control, you don't gain the hit, let's say I do that, DK stays over there, okay, boom, back to neutral. It's fine, alright? It's back to neutral, alright? Like, you try to go for the advantage, you didn't get the hit, so you didn't get the hit, you think it's all bad. It's actually not. Because even though you didn't get the hit, your opponent can't hit you. You know what I'm saying? So now the playing field is reset. Now we're going back to neutral. Now you got to go on about trying to figure out how to hit your opponent, how to bait them. You know, it just resets. If nobody gets a hit, it resets. Okay, neutral resets. Then you go, both of you guys going back about being safe, try to hit each other and all that good stuff. All right then. There you go. So yeah, there's that. You could fair, forward tilt, fair, bear, fair, nair. Oh, I didn't mean to hit him, but you get the idea. You fair, nair, replace that time. Sometimes I like doing that. Or if you think the opponent's gonna be stationary after the fair, you could do that. So the only time you will go in with an attack is if you space, you know, fair, and you think the opponent's gonna stay there and they're not gonna do much. You could fair going with nair, or you can fair and going with there. Okay? Alright. And then whatever method you get to hit, you know, you just take control of it from there. Also, having a turnip in your hand is good. We're doing fair because you can fair, and then if you fair like right here in this situation and then DK'd over there, again, you can use this, or you can toss a turnip, right? And you can do that in any order. So if you fair, the opponent thinks you might toss a turnip, you don't toss it. You're a bear. You know, fight with a turnip in your hand, okay? Fight with a turnip in your hand. So this is good. You can do that, and then, you know, bear, and then toss the turnip and then go in. Alright? So those are the ways you can you know, do the fair. Alright? Now bear, this is another move that, you know, people use in neutral. This move is 6 frames, decent speed. The range is not as great as this, obviously, but it has more range than this. Okay? But the thing about this move is you have to be careful because there's a lot of moves in this game, a lot of air moves that can snuff out this move. So if you're just doing this like this, a lot of characters, they can just time it where they can just dash attack you. They can just hit you out. Like, for instance, if you're fighting, like, let's say Roy. Like, if you're doing this a lot, Roy can just go in there and nair you and hit you. His nair is 6 frames, and it has good range. So you're gonna get hit. Alright? So against those type of characters, you can't be doing this a lot, and you can't be doing this a lot. Okay? Sometimes if you space, well, if you yeah, like if you space a fair, you think the opponent's gonna jump at you, like in this case Roy. I say you think Roy's gonna do a nair. You can pull back, toss a fair, right? Then after you toss a fair, you can, if you got a turnip in your hand, which I recommend doing, is do that, he lands, and then toss the turnip at him, okay? Or, if he lands, and he thinks you might toss a turnip, he might block. So, you know, you get a free pressure with that, okay? Stuff like that. Just be careful. But, yeah, characters who have range or are fast, you have to be careful when doing this. Like, I would recommend doing 1 bear. So you do 1 bear and then forward tilt, okay? 1 bear, forward tilt. If you're gonna do another bear, at most 2. So like 1, 2, and then that's it, don't do no more. But after a while, you keep getting happy with the bears, throwing that ass out there. You know, the ass gonna get cut. But with like sword characters, or the ass is just gonna get rammed. Am I keeping this PG? Anyway, just know that a lot of fast characters and characters with range, they can hit you out of this, okay? Like, and it's not safe on shield. Like, if you do this to Yoshi shield, he can nair you for free. Cloud, he can up B you. Roy, he can nair you. Alright, you have to be careful. This move is not safe on shield. And even if you space it, there's a lot of characters where if you space it, you can't do anything. You have to sit there and block now. Alright? You space at a certain distance, characters who like got range and whatnot, you can't go bear and then try to go for another one. Alright, you gotta be careful with that. Because the more you try to go for another bear, you're gonna get hit. Because when you attack somebody on shield, they can move before you. Alright? So just remember that. But with the bear, you know, 1 bear, 2 bears at most, and then after that, you know, go for something like this. You know, something like that. Or that maybe. You know, you could do that. You could bear to raw fair like that. You know, that's a good way to cover distance, get a hit off. I thought I had another method. Don't remember. You think your opponent's gonna run at you from the ground after a fair, or they jump at you, and as they're jumping, you do this. You'll probably catch the landing with a down tilt. You know, you have that option right there. So, yeah. Overall, just be careful with this move, right? Just be careful. I mean, it's fast. It made you could pressure people well, depending on character. If you space it on shield, but again, it leaves you open. If you're getting too happy with this, the opponent, they could just time it, go in, hit you with a projectile. They can time a dash attack, and you know, they can punish you out of shield depending on distance and character options that you're fighting, all that. So just be careful, right? Then another move that I like to personally use in neutrals is the nair, right? But when I do a nair, I like to have a turnip in my hand at times. If I can't get a turnip, then I just do it. I do it, you know, like this. But the move is the range is short, right? It's short, as you can see. Look, I'm right here with DK, and you know, like right about here. I don't think yeah, see, look, it's not hitting DK. Look at that. All right. So the move is short range. So this could be a bit challenging, but if you're gonna go on with nair, if you're gonna use it, you have to use it in a way where you think the opponent's gonna run at you, right? Which in this case, that's what bear's for. People tend to use bear to snuff out people they're gonna run at you. But I personally like to use nair because this is the move that has the least amount of landing lag, okay? And also, with this move, if you're approaching somebody with it, to get close and check them, it's safe. It's -2 on block, right? There isn't a single character in this game that can punish you for nairing them. The move is safe. -2, that's like super safe. All right, you can block, you can roll, you can sidestep before the opponent can do anything. Okay, and when you hit somebody's shield, it adds 4 more extra frames for them to shield grab you, okay? So remember that. So this move is basically shield grab proof, right? So yeah, that's the thing. It has short range, but it's safe. And spacing the move, it could get a bit tricky. It just takes practice. But if you're doing this, and you're trying to check if the opponent is gonna run at you, you know, you do ground float nairs. And on top of that, you can get a bit closer. As you can see, I'm getting close to DK. You know? And then have that turn up for coverage. So let's say I do a nair, right? I do a nair to see if DK is going to come at me. He doesn't. He either, I don't know, he tosses out like a space tilt or something like that, right? He doesn't. Boom. Now, even though I get strong, I still got this turn in my hand for insurance. So if I think he's going to jump at me or I see him do something offensive, I could do that. Or do that and then, you know, follow up. You know, get a free approach or whatever. Okay? So the nair, it'll take practice, just get used to the range. But this is a move I like to use in neutral at times. It's usually best to do it with a turnip in your hand. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't get a turnip, you could just mix up whatever you're doing with these attacks. You know, close the distance. So basically nair, use it to check approaches. and also to approach yourself to get closer to your opponent. Okay, and the bear is mostly used to stop people from approaching. That's basically it, to stop people from approaching. But you can't really move in with it that well because it's not safe on shield. If it gets blocked, you know you're gonna get punished for that, right? So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I didn't try to overcomplicate everything. Just basically the basis of how to be safe with the attacks that you do, how to be hard to hit while trying to figure out what your opponent is gonna do, counter or punish, or force the defensive so you can take control, right? So hopefully this video helped out. If you got any concerns or whatnot, you know, just let me know in the comments below. So yeah, hope this video helped you guys out. Thanks for all the subscribers, my new subscribers, and also my recent subscribers. You guys are freaking savages, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, all right, bye bye, yeah, bye.